Hi. Wanted to share an update with you about applying to TEDx places, right? It's not a great update. Kind of feeling the feelings, so to speak. I want to start with a little bit of a metaphor. Right now, on my back porch, there is a bird trapped. I've asked my boyfriend to come over and help me get this bird off the porch. But the worst part about this bird being trapped, am terrified of being in small spaces with trapped birds. I don't know, it's just a weird thing that I don't know. Birds they're cool when they're in nature, but when they're like right there, it kind of gives me the EBGBs. But despite my EBGBs, I was able to open the door and prop it open, and yet the bird cannot find its way out that open door. But it's open. It's ready for it. All the bird has to do is move from where it is out that open door. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to relate it back to the bird in a second. Friday and today, I got a letter on Friday from one place, email, and an email today from another place saying, thank you so much for applying to TEDx blank. We got over 125 applications. It was very competitive. For a lot of reasons, your application was not selected. Okay. So I've applied to 15 places. I've now gotten 3 rejections. And one of the really difficult things about applying for a TEDx is they often say, we cannot give you feedback on why your application was not selected. Okay, that's tough, right? Because I'm the type of person that wants to be like, why didn't I get it? I'll make it better next time. So that's really difficult. However, I have this feeling like I am the bird trapped on the porch, right? Like, if I would just move or do something a little bit different, but I don't know what it is, I'd be able to fly out that door, you know? That's the sense that I have. It's funny, it's something that came up in Raw this morning in our Reawakening Wisdom group, where we talked about how we can't see the forest for the trees. We often can't see the things that our friends and or coaches can see because we're in it. And that's how I feel right now. So it's probably time for me to talk to my coach or, therapist or whatever. But that's where I am in this journey. And it is not comfortable. And I've applied to 15 places. Even if I don't get any of them, I can say I tried. I can say that I went after it with gusto. And I've been reading Super Attractor recently, and I firmly believe, if not this, something even greater is coming. Something even greater is coming. And I've been doing so much research now on failure as a sacred right. Like, I'm allowing myself to feel this. I'm allowing myself to be okay with that I tried and that I didn't get this one, that these applications, I was not selected as the TEDx presenter. I'll be a really effing good TEDx presenter for the right group. So it's like, I've been listening to a lot of other people's Instagram reels, and there's that song, and it's like, you want me? No. You want me? No. That's how I feel like it. I'm like asking these TEDx places, do you want me? No. For the right place, I'll be the right fit. And I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep working, and I'm going to keep refining. I'm going to keep researching. I'm writing a book on this topic. And, maybe the book will have to be written before people will want me to speak about it. And that's okay. But I'm going to allow myself to feel the feelings. I'm going to forgive myself for not being selected to these 2 TEDx conferences. And I'm going to believe, if not this, something even greater is coming. So I'm curious, when you don't get something, when you feel like you've had a failure or you've had a rejection of some sort, what helps you get to that next place? Like I said, this is something I'm writing about. And how do you use it as success to propel you to the next thing? It is so meta to be writing about failing, to be committed to sharing this process with all of you, and then have to talk publicly about these things that feel so icky, that feel so not good, that feel like rejections. That's where I'm at. So, submitted 15 TEDx applications, got a rejection on Friday, and got a rejection today. The rejection today came from TEDx Greensboro, so that one had a particular sting to it. I think I tried to tell you all a little bit ago that I wasn't banking on the TEDx Greensboro one, but honestly, I would this is my home. Greensboro's been my home for 20 years, and getting to be a TEDx presenter in Greensboro could have been really cool. And I would have been proud to be a TEDx Greensboro one speaker. But if they don't want me, somebody else will, and there'll be another TEDx conference that will be the right one for me. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm curious, how do y'all deal with stuff like this? These are rejections, right? They're nope, not you, not the right conference. So what about you? How do you deal with these failures when it is public and it doesn't feel good? That's definitely where I am. I'm just going to recap. There's some folks that have just joined us, and I was saying that I have an update on the TEDx. I've done 15 applications, and Maddie just said that the way he deals with the failure or the rejection is staying calm, figuring out what's next, realizing that this is better than last year. Yes, I feel you on that. So I found out that there was one on Friday, near Alexandria, Virginia, that I did not get, and then the Greensboro one I did not get. And it stings, and it's so weird and so meta to be talking to all of you about failure and failing publicly, being rejected publicly, and telling you all about it instead of it just being something that I keep to myself. But I think it's important to talk about it and to normalize the trying. At least that's what my book is all about. That, so far I've interviewed 33 people on failure and as a sacred right. And I think it's important, like, this is a sacred right to me. I was raised Catholic, so there are sacraments in Catholicism, right? Like marriage and receiving the Holy Eucharist and confession, last rites. If you were going to be a priest or a nun, that would be its own right. I really feel like failure, it is something that happens to all of us, and it is something that that needs its own absolution from ourselves in order for us to process and to move on, and to be able to distill and transmute the pain, the embarrassment, the sometimes having to deal with it means for our identity, and move it to the next thing, to turn it into fuel or to turn it into a lesson or turn it into growth. There's the idea in positive psychology of post-traumatic growth. So when you have something like, Maddie, you just said you had a bad fall last year and it felt like a failure, and we can turn those things that felt that feel bad into growth, and it can become the fuel of our greatest success. So I'm choosing to have a mindset in this situation of I am going to allow myself to feel the feelings and process the way I need to process, and absolve myself of the part that doesn't feel good. And then I'm going to just let it be a lesson and transmute it into love. And I'm going to believe that if not this, something even greater is coming. So that's where I am. And now I got to figure out how to take care of that bird on my back porch. If you missed the beginning of this, I'm going to save it for IGTV, but there's a bird stuck on my back porch. And I have opened the door, and last I checked, it still had not let itself out. So, if you folks are in Greensboro, I need help with this bird on my back porch. I'm hoping my boyfriend comes over to help me do it, because, okay. Thank you all for being here. You're wonderful. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Your input, your encouragement, your comments, everyone's willingness to talk to me and engage and share. It is so meaningful and so profound, and I'm grateful for all of you. So thank you. Have a beautiful day.